here's the ribbon we created in the last tutorial. What we want to do now is we want to turn this into a movie clip, but be careful. We're going to right click and we're going to go convert to symbol. And what I want you to do this time, let me just move this in the middle of the screen. We're going to call this ribbon, but what's really important is you'll see that there's this registration section here. Now normally the registration is the top left hand little block, but what we want it to be is the middle one. So what I want you to do is make sure you click on the middle so that the centre of this ribbon is actually got a little crosshair in it there, not in the top left hand corner. So that will be then the centre of this image. So make sure you've done that, called it ribbon, made it a movie clip and gone OK. We now look at the library. There we've got a copy of the ribbon. So on this particular animation here, we can now get rid of it and go delete because it's now part of the actual library itself. Now we're going to edit that particular library item. So we're going to see where the little icon is next to the word ribbon, double click on it and that will open it in the window. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, so I'm just holding down control as I zoomed my wheel in on that one. Lots of different ways of doing this. And what we're going to do is we're now going to turn this actually into an animation. First thing we're going to do is name the layer. We're going to call this ribbon. So, and we're also going to create a mask layer. We're going to call this mask. Now we don't actually need to turn this into a mask yet. We're going to leave that as it is. And what we want to do is we're going to use the rectangle tool to draw a shape. And I'm going to pick, it's obviously I don't want an outside stroke colour, so I'm going to click on the stroke and make that up in the alpha up here, which is nothing, and the inside is going to be one of my horrible vile colours because we want to make sure we're actually covering the whole thing here and it's easy for us to see. So what I want to do is I need to look very carefully at the topmost of the parts of the curve and the bottommost parts of the curve, and I'm going to draw a rectangle that actually goes over all of them. So I need to make sure it's higher than the topmost part and it's lower than the bottom, and I hope I've just got that right there. And you'll also notice that I've actually gone over part of the very start of this. So if I'm just hide this layer for a moment, you'll notice that it is just over the beginning. So I do know where this is starting. So I'm in frame 1. What I want to do is I'm going to go to say frame 60 over here in the ribbon layer and insert a frame. But in the mask layer, I'm going to actually insert a keyframe. I want to repeat what's there at the moment, the rectangle. What we're going to do is in the first frame, it's going to be this big. And in the final frame, what I want it to be is I want it to be covering the entire shape. So I've just gone and selected the transform tool. So we're in the final frame here, we've got the keyframe, and what we now need to do is actually stretch this. Now there is a problem. If I just try and stretch this as it is, you'll notice the left hand side and the right hand side are moving at the same time. A cheat, hold control down while you drag that right hand side, so let's hold it down and drag it, and now what it will do is it will allow me to drag this straight the way across. Okay, what it's doing is sort of shearing it. I need to try and make sure that it's absolutely straight. Is a little bit of a problem. I don't want it to actually stop the anchoring on the other side. Okay, so in the middle, let's put this in as a shape tweak and let's watch what actually happens. So you can see here it swipes from left to right. So if we now turn that mask into a mask layer, what it will do is, let's go back to the very beginning. As you can see, that swipes across and wipes the ribbon as we go. I'm going to go back at the very top up here to that little arrow, and that will take me back to my main scene. Control 0 to make it all zoom into the right screen. So you'll notice now that it's up here on the top right hand corner, and if we want to make that play, there used to be a play option up here, but what we can now do is right click on it and go play, and that will show exactly what this animation will look like. So it's going from left to right. There we go, there is the ribbon.